Okay, guys, we'll go and get started. Um, we are using these mics again for tonight. So these are the ones that turn off periodically. Just make sure you check that it's on as you speak. Yes, I did. I remember to record it this time. Okay, so starting roll call, Secretary Mallory will take care of that as we go. So we'll start with the approval of last week's minutes. You guys should have all gotten them yesterday. I sent it out. Okay, so these are the minutes for our October 26th meeting with a note that the recording didn't start until part of the way through Kobe's talk. Does anybody have any questions about these? Pretty straightforward. Okay, then I'd like to entertain a motion to vote to approve last week's minutes. Okay, all in favor say aye. All opposed say nay or do an emoji. And any abstentions? Okay, that passes unanimously. We'll move on to open forum. Is anybody here for open forum? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move right along. I see that Chief Metters has joined the Zoom. So this evening for our speakers podium, we have Chief Metters. He's the Chief of Police for UT Tyler of University Police. And he's here to talk after we got some requests from students regarding some parking questions, as well as just to give a general update on security on campus and things like that. So Chief Metters, the floor is yours.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I was having a little bit of an equipment problem here, but it's always nice to be able to speak with students, particularly SGA. A lot of our goals are the same. Obviously, we want to work closely with our students to make sure we have a safe campus and address any concerns you have. So really, I would just kind of like to, I know there were several questions about parking. I had responded to you, Catherine. I'm not sure if I answered all your questions that you had asked, but I'm certainly open to listening and certainly answering any questions that anyone in the room may have tonight.
Sure. So if you want to kind of give an overview of the questions, the questions that I sent on to you were from a student that had submitted them. They were primarily directed towards, just for y'all's Senate information, they were primarily directed towards how funds from student parking passes were used during COVID, whether there was a reimbursement of those during COVID, and in general, what those parking fees are used towards. So if you'd like to give a brief overview of that, Chief Metters, that would be great.
Okay, as far as any reimbursements go, if I remember correctly, there were some reimbursements for times that the campus was actually went fully online. Again, that's kind of a financial services question. Although we use some of the money from parking, we don't directly control those accounts. So I'm not sure exactly how that went as far as any refunds go. As far as the parking funds in general, from the generated revenue from parking permits and from parking citations, it's by law, those funds are used for anything parking, whether it be parking lot maintenance, parking lot repair, parking lot safety. Safety may involve lighting within the parking lots. We can also fund positions that deal with parking lots and parking lot safety. So those funds are never used for anything outside the scope of parking, whether it be building parking lots, repairing parking lots, or providing safety measures within those parking areas, sidewalks around parking lots, access to parking lots, things of that nature are what those funds are used for.
Sure, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have questions for Chief Metters?
I know there were some additional questions about the commuter permits and why we separate them out. If you'd like for me to address that,
Sure, absolutely.
I certainly will. The question came up about, why we have the residential parking rule and what that parking rule is. We had to institute this several years ago because of the growth of the university and the lack of parking that we had at the time, and the growth of the residential population on campus. Obviously, when I came here in '05, we only had University Pines and Patriot Village. That was it. Since then, we've had Ornelas Hall, Liberty Landing, and now Victory Village. So we have 5 residential facilities, which brought a whole lot more cars to campus. So the way the parking rules work is, whether it be residential facilities or main campus, everything is on-campus parking. So residential facilities, they pay for the same parking permit that commuter students pay for. The residential facilities obviously are gated. The commuter students cannot park within those. Obvious security reasons for that, plus the fact that the residents should have a place to park because they live there. So we instituted that rule several years ago because due to the growth, we did not have enough spaces on campus to accommodate all of the commuter students and all of the residential students, the busiest parts of the day being, pretty much Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. The difference is for the residential students, even though they have to walk from their facility to on campus, is they're guaranteed a parking spot within their residential facility, as where commuter students are not. Commuter students can't come and park inside residential facilities. So again, it was basically, the only reason for it was just because of the lack of parking spaces on campus. Now, you may look at campus now. Campus looks a little different than it did a couple of years ago because of COVID. I know more people have went online. This is something that we constantly evaluate. We had a lot of questions from the University Services Committee this year about parking before the semester started, about parking and desired changes they would like to see. And we told them we're going to wait till we evaluate this fall semester and see what our parking situation looks like. And we'll do the same for that residential facility parking rule. If we ever get to the point where we know we have enough spaces on campus where it won't negatively affect our ability to park everyone, then, rules are subject to change in the future. But right now, that's why the rule is in place. The question was asked also, why residents have a different color permit. Well, it's 2 reasons, or primarily 2 reasons. One is for security of the residential facilities. When we're doing our patrols, we look at those permits on the cars as we drive by. And if there's one that's not a residential permit, it may tell us that, well, there could be someone over here that's not supposed to be over here. So it's it heightens security for the residents, obviously. And on the other part of that, because of the residential parking rule in place, if you come over to campus with a residential parking permit, it's easy to identify because of the color. So that's the primary reasons for the difference in permits. But all students pay the same fee, parking permit fee, regardless of, whether they're a commuter or whether they're a residential student. Y'all probably don't know, but all faculty and staff, they pay more than the students do. I think now we're up to 120 a year, where I think students are at 90. But we actually do pay more than the students do. And when I say we, I mean everybody on this campus, whether it be police department employees, any, faculty, staff, everybody buys a parking permit to park, on the campus property.
Hi, Chief. I'm Jacqueline. I'm the senator for Liberty Landing. And
Yeah,
I've gotten
Jacqueline.
complaints recently about the basketball court blocking off parts of the parking lot constantly. And I was wondering if y'all have any feedback or things you can help residents with on that.
That's the first I've heard about it being an issue. I will definitely talk to Mr. Scott Hendershot the Director of Residence Life, and let him know there's been some concerns about that. And I'll get his input and get back with you. But that's quite frankly, that's the first I've heard of it. But I can understand the concern if they're taking up a significant amount of the parking.
And, you know, sorry to jet in, but I lived in building 1 whenever it was first put in over the summer a year or two ago. And all of a sudden I had to go much further down to get back to my apartment. So I know at the very beginning of its existence, there was definitely some concern. It may have waned some, but you know, apparently it's coming back. So
Okay, well, I will definitely check with Scott and see what his thoughts are on that, and we can go from there. I'll definitely let him know there's some concerns.
Hey, Chief, it's Robert Bennett. I am the senator for here at the College of Business.
Hello, Robert.
Hello. I'm just wondering, is there any plans for the near future to add more parking to campus?
You know, there's a lot going on right now as far as master plans, as far as where buildings are going to go and new residential facilities are going to go. That's constantly a work in progress. That's another thing I can get an update on. Right now, with our residential parking rule and probably the fact that more students are online during COVID, as far as that matters, some faculty and staff are more online because of COVID. We really haven't had a significant parking shortage this fall. When you're going to see the significant shortages will usually be at the very beginning of the semester, the first couple of weeks, while everybody's rushing to the university to finish up their business, as well as everyone attending classes. Then it will generally wane off and we'll be able to accommodate everyone. As far as any future plans for parking, I can't speak about that right now, but as these new, I know new buildings are planned for campus. So whenever they do that, then parking lots will be adjusted accordingly.
sure.
But right now, I don't think we have a significant shortage at this point. Well, I know we don't, because even the first couple of weeks this semester, we could park everybody and still have some spaces left over.
Good. I'd like to change gears a little bit. I know that parking isn't your main area. So, as student government president at the system level, we've had discussions with the student governments from all the system schools, and some of them have mentioned that their student bodies have a significant level of distrust with the police force. Here on our campus, I haven't heard of any instances of that. I'm sure that there have been one-off things, but it doesn't seem to be a significant problem. I just wanted to hear from you. Do you guys actively work to make sure that that is a positive relationship? Do you guys have informal opportunities for students to meet you? Sort of, how do you maintain that positive relationship with the student body?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I know overall, in the last couple of years, police departments, some of it brought on, by themselves, have, some of it brought on by police. There's been a negative perception of police in the media and so forth. Here at UT Tyler, it's our goal to work closely with the student body. One thing I do as chief, either me or a member of my staff, usually me, every summer attends every freshman orientation session, speaks with the parents, whether it be me or a member of my staff, someone speaks with the students. So even the freshmen coming in, we let them know of all the services we provide and the fact that we can't keep this campus secure and safe without the eyes and ears of everybody. We talk about see something, say something. We encourage people to be involved. We put on presentations throughout the year. We put on self-defense classes, the RAD program, you might be familiar with that. We've done a couple of those recently. Every time that we can meet with the resident assistants and housing, we do that. Just any type of chance that we have to work cooperatively with the student body, we know that's in our best interest. And, our officers here are very much community oriented. it's my philosophy, as well as every officer here, that we are here as part of your educational process. We wouldn't be here working as police officers if it weren't for you. So we definitely put students first. We don't have very many negative encounters with students at UT Tyler, as opposed to some colleges and universities. We know that you're here, you're serious about your future, you're serious about your education, and we are here to help you get through those, even when sometimes students misstep, go outside the law a little bit. When it comes to minor violations, we try not to put them in jail. We try to send them through the student judicial process here. Occasionally, something serious enough will happen that we do have to take students to jail, but we try to, again, be part of the educational process. And I've been here 16 years now as chief. I'm very fortunate and blessed to have the people here working us alongside of me that I've been able to have throughout the years. But it is very rare that we'll have a complaint from a student about a manner in which they were handled or talked to by the police. Again, from me on down through the youngest patrol officer, we instill it into them that, we're here for y'all. Again, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. So I think we have a great working relationship with the students. Probably our biggest problem right now is it's not a UT Tyler problem. It's a national problem, and that's just shortage of personnel right now. Recruitment of police officers is really tough right now for whatever reasons. So we have probably less interaction here in the last year than we've had in previous years, just due to manpower shortages. But when the more we get staff, the more we can get back out there and be participating in student activities and making sure we have a representative there to answer any questions and work with the students whenever they need us.
Absolutely.
I just have kind of a quick related question to that. This is David Harrison, College of Arts and Sciences, by the way. So are officers required to wear body cams? And if so, are they required to be on at all times?
Officers are required to wear body cams. We issue the body cams here, as you probably see. I've got one on right here. They are required to have them on during any type of interaction. They're not constantly recording due to just space issues and battery issues. But anytime that they go on a police-related call or they make a traffic stop, yes, they're required to turn them on. And that's a very good point, because I love body cameras. Not only does it keep everybody honest, as far as, the video doesn't lie, whatever happened, happened. So if we get a complaint on an officer, I'm easily able to either confirm or deny that complaint. Or if an officer does something wrong on a call, whether it be officer safety wise, or whether it be, the way he talked to someone, the video says it all. So I personally love body cam videos. I think it makes everybody more accountable. It clears up bogus complaints on officers. Before body cams, you'd be surprised how many people would come in and lie about what police officers did. But now when they do that, it's easy. They do it less now because they know we're wearing these body cams. But most of all, from my perspective, it holds our officers accountable. And I review body cam all the time, body cam and in-dash camera, vehicle cameras, just to make sure officers are operating safely, that they're not doing things to put themselves in danger out here on traffic stops, or putting civilians in danger on traffic stops, like where they stand. If they invite a citizen to get out of the car to deal with a citation or whatever it may be, make sure that they're not standing in between the cars, things to that nature, where they could get them or the citizens, injured during the course of a traffic stop. Whether it be officer safety when they go into an apartment and they have to discover alcohol or drugs or whatever it may be, the body cam will show if they're operating safely or if they're not. And it will definitely tell me whether or not they are interacting with our students the way they should be. And like I say, it's very rare that I find an officer doing anything on video that, would warrant a complaint. So I think our officers do a very good job at talking to people, and that's my goal, to de-escalate situations as opposed to escalating situations. So I think they do a really good job of that. So that's a great question. And yeah, just the short answer is yes, they're required to have those body cams on anytime they're dealing with a police related call. Now you may see them out here from time to time, just walking around campus. Someone stops and asks them a question. They're probably not going to turn the body cam on unless it's something that's going to lead to a police call right at that moment. Because our officers do get out here and just talk to people, which I encourage them to do. Obviously, that's how we, that's how we do our jobs. That's community policing, getting out here, discovering, talking to people, and discovering what their issues are, and working with them to find solutions. But yeah, generally those body cams are on. You'll know they're on and they're recording. You'll see an officer walking around, and mine's not on right now just because I'm in the office and preserve the battery. But when the officer turns the camera on, it'll have a green light on it all the time. And when it's actually recording, there'll be a red light. So when you see officers out, you'll notice it'll either be a green or a red light on there, and you'll know whether he's recording or not.
Okay, I know that other schools have like some kind of app that can contact the police and everything. Like whenever we have that, don't we? And if we do, can you like explain more about that and what it's called?
We do. We have the RAVE, R-A-V-E, Guardian app. You can download that. It's completely free in your Apple or Google Play Store. And what that does, that app is great for assisting with your safety on campus. First of all, from that app, you can dial us directly with the push of a button. Our 24/7 dispatch center here, you can be in contact with the dispatcher. You can call 911. There's basically a directory of other campus phone numbers within that app, commonly needed departments that you have quick access to. You can also, in addition to calling the police department, you can text us. So if you're in a situation where you're not comfortable with getting on the phone and talking to someone because of someone around you, whatever the case may be, you can text us. We have a computer in dispatch that's running 24/7, strictly devoted to that Rave Guardian app. So it's a constant line of communication if you need to communicate with us. What I really like about it is the safety timer feature on it. So if let's just say you're studying at the library late at night and you're walking to your own campus residence and it takes you 10 minutes to get there, you can set that safety timer. And if you do not deactivate that safety timer within that specified time period, we will get an instant alert in dispatch. And as long as you've got your location services turned on, we'll be able to see where you are. So you can see how that can save lives. If something has happened, whether it be medical related or whether it be some type of criminal activity that's happened to you along your path, we can actually see where you are. And as long as your location services are turned on, we can actually follow you or follow the phone to locate you. So we heavily advertise that during freshman orientation sessions. We love it when people sign up for it. Again, it's complete, like every service we provide, there's no charge. So definitely, if you haven't already done it, download that app. When you download Rave Guardian, it actually personalizes to UT Tyler. It'll be UT Tyler Orange. I think it's called Patriot Guardian once you download it, but it's the same exact app as the Rave Guardian. So yeah, great question as well.
Hey, Chief, this is Jacqueline again. I
Yeah,
was
Jacqueline.
wondering if y'all do any work to especially protect minority students, including LGBTQ plus students. I have had people tell me, I'm not entirely sure what the police department is doing just to protect me as a part of an ethnic minority or as part of this LGBTQ community. And I was wondering if y'all do any outreach or protection for these people.
We haven't had a whole lot of issues brought to our attention. Most of those issues are taken to the Title IX office. And what happens is a Maxient report will be created anytime there's any type of situation involving a student regarding, any type of misconduct or any type of discrimination or whatever it may be. So those reports will actually come through, but generally those are handled by the Title IX office unless there's actually a criminal offense that has been committed. And obviously, if there's been a criminal offense, it'll be referred to us. I think the biggest thing I can say as a police department is we're concerned about all the issues that students are concerned with. And when you come to us with an issue, such as what you're speaking of there, if it's not criminal related, we're going to make sure we get you in touch with the right people on campus who can most effectively deal with that issue. Obviously, a lot can come out of that. If a student who feels like they have been targeted somehow because of their orientation or their race or whatever it may be, then, if later that the person they complained on retaliates against them, now it's crossed over into criminal activity. And we would obviously pick that up. And if the student were wanting to pursue criminal charges, we would make sure those charges were filed through the district attorney's office. So yeah, we're always in a position where we're listening, and if we can't handle the issue most effectively ourselves, then we'll refer it to Title IX or the other appropriate human resources. If it's involving an employee, we'll refer it to the proper office, and we'll stay in tune with the progress on that particular case to make sure that it doesn't cross over into the criminal realm.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, lastly, I just wanted to say I saw the event where one of the officers taught the basketball team how to change a tire.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was awesome. I think, in my opinion, you guys should do more things like that. What a great opportunity just to have that positive interaction and potentially make a connection with a student that wouldn't have come to y'all otherwise.
Yes.
So kudos to you guys for doing that. I hope we see more of that interactive programming. But we appreciate you taking the time to come answer our questions, and we love to hear from y'all.
Well, and I'll just say on that, and yeah, I think that's a great program. We were, I grew up in a different time, obviously. I graduated high school in 1984, so back then everybody knew how to change a tire, but we found out that, students do a lot of things that we didn't do back then. We didn't have computers or anything, so a lot of times students don't get those basic skills that you might need out on the highway. So that's why we started putting on those classes, and they were very well received. But on classes in general, I don't even like to talk about active shooter, but it's something we have to talk about because it's a reality. College campuses across the nation, across the world for that matter. But we'll put on a presentation for SGA. We'll put on a presentation for any student group that request it, whether it be changing a tire or how to keep yourself safe during an active shooter situation. Again, that's what we're here for. We're here for you. So we would like for y'all to reach out more even to us and request whatever it is, and we'll make sure that we get those classes put on for you. That's not a problem, not one bit.
Sure.
Again, that's how we most effectively do our job, working with our students and helping them wherever we can. And in the course of that, we'll probably learn something about technology we didn't know, and you'll learn how to change a tire. So I think
Two-way street. Absolutely.
I think it's absolutely it is. So
All right. Well, everybody give a hand for Chief Metters. Thank you very much.
well, thank you all. And anytime that you want to have police present at one of these meetings to answer questions, we'll be happy to send someone.
Thank you very much. We'll let
Thank
you
you
know.
very much, and I'll go ahead and leave now. If you need anything, and I will follow up on those questions you had, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
All right.
All
Thank
right, take care.
Awesome. Okay, moving right along to officer reports. As you guys know, last week was crazy. We had lots of events. It was a lot of fun. In addition to all that, I had meetings, of course. Trying to think what all was last week. We've been working on getting the ballot ready to go. That's out now. So if you haven't already voted, make sure you do. Make sure you send out the information. We have lots of posts on social media that you can just share to your story. We want to definitely make sure that the awareness is there for that. Yeah, it's just been a crazy week. I'm glad to have all of those events in the rearview mirror. So we will move right along. Again, just a friendly reminder to make sure that the microphone is on before you use it.
Yeah, like Casey said, lots of events last week. Not a one of them could have gone as well as they did without you guys. So big thank you to everybody. Houston campus, we are working on trying to get something together put together for you guys because we had a great time here on main campus and we want to be able to do something similar for y'all. And the rest of my report is in committee.
I've really just been working on updating the website. Thank you, Josh. You're the best for helping me.
Don't share the link though. The link in your email is specific to you. So if you send it to them, it will not work. So you need to tell them to check their own Patriot email to vote. And if they can't access it, they can contact IT. If they can't access their email, if they can't access the ballot, contact Josh.
Mom next.
Yes.
Okay. I don't really have nothing to report for treasurer wise. Most of it is for HVAC about what we funded. So yeah, thanks.
How'd your test go?
We'll
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
All right, great. Everybody pray for Ord during finals. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Landry.
I don't have a whole lot to report. Most of what I have been doing lately will be discussed later today. Next week, I might also try and introduce some changes to the Constitution, or maybe whenever we meet next, because don't we have Thanksgiving break coming up, or is it so?
In 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks. Okay, so maybe it'll be 2 weeks from now. But yeah, other than that, that's all I have.
Okay. Will you pass back to David? We're going to share the walking today.
We did not meet this week because I am not caught up in emails. But I'm going to reach out to a group of people here in Tyler.
Are you talking about Tyler Street team?
Yes,
Okay. Let's chat. I have
Okay.
contact information.
we will do.
Okay. Moving on to GSA. We don't meet as frequently as others because that's just an opportunity for graduate students to meet with me. I'm going out to the Health Science Center campus next week. It got postponed. So Wednesday at 12 next week. That is November 10th. November 10th. If anybody would like to join me, let me know. Could be fun. We're gonna take a brief tour, chat with some students. No money being spent. It's going to be a pretty informal thing. primarily planning ways we could potentially help facilitate interactive programming for those students. Like I said last week, they've been online or hybrid for a while now. They're still not back in person. So there's been a significant desire to have some in-person and just mingling opportunities. So we're going to work to facilitate that. If anybody's interested in going with me, let me know. Moving right along to student voice reports. Yeah, just kidding. I just skipped straight through that into GSA. So we'll go back to events. David, can we have the microphone?
I was a little confused by the.
Sorry about that, guys.
I was.
You were talking about
No, that's fine.
environmental sustainability, so I don't. We're just gonna go out of order today. Let the record show we did ESC and GSA already. My apologies.
All right, for events committee, we are working on finals week bags. That's going to be our next thing. So primarily what needs to happen is ordering the candy or the s'mores kits, just based on pricing.
So let's see.
Yeah,
Informal vote. Do a thumbs up emoji or raise your hand if you'd rather have s'mores, like s'mores kits as a finals bag.
So like 2 marshmallows, 2 graham crackers, and a bar of Hershey's, or a bag full of candy.
That's it. Candy or s'mores? Raise your hand for s'mores.
Robert, are you the person that wants apple slices?
No apple slices.
No.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
that devolved really quickly, so let's stop
All right.
that.
Back to order, please. I actually don't recognize voices. I only recognize raising of hands since that's what I requested. I'm just saying. All right. That's good. We're looking at options. Like Jennifer said, it's dependent on pricing. We're not going to make ridiculous decisions, but that could be fun.
Yeah. Okay. And then once we get those ordered, I'll be sending out times to make the bags, put them together, because we usually also do like a fun pencil and eraser kind of thing, and then tabling times. Landry? Landry's asking for fidget toys. You know what? That's not a bad idea. All right, raise your hand if you're in favor of maybe fidget toys instead of candy.
Just do a thumbs up emoji if you're on Zoom.
Okay.
I really thought you were going to request chicken Alfredo pizza in the finals bags.
Okay, and also we are going to be planning a little bit of a get together for end of semester, because we'll also be end of SGA career for some of us.
Sad.
No.
So if we did like well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Moving on.
But that's kind of what we're looking at right now. I'm going to need help stuffing bags and then tabling to pass them out before finals week. So
yep,
that's where we're at. That's the next big thing.
Okay. It was just me and Valerie again this week. If you guys signed up, please come. I feel like we're really fun to talk to. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yep.
We are just talking about post and getting the word out about the ballot. So even if you're not in events, or communication, I feel like it's really easy just to share a post or tell somebody to go vote. So, but don't tell them your opinion. Just say vote.
You as individuals are allowed to share your opinion, but you can't say, yeah. Ord, I saw your chat message. Were you asking about finals bags? Whether Houston campus or not?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They'll probably need them.
That's a great question. Let's work with Jennifer on that. We just may have
So,
to
yeah.
put stuff other than chocolate so it won't melt.
Okay. Yeah. But as far as SGAC, we approved about 3 people this last Thursday. Had a little bit of confusion on one of them, but we got it sorted out.
What organizations did y'all approve?
We approved ASME, ASME, NAS organization here in Houston. We approved a group called ASHRAE, ASHRAE, and then approve another group, BSA, and they are a joint group with ISA. So yeah,
Awesome.
thank you. And also I wanted to say, I'm sorry. Before the end of the semester, I need to get together and I'm gonna go through some of the submissions because the groups are supposed to submit like how did the event go, just to show appreciation. So I'll be doing that too as well.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I think we just need to start being more formal with that. Like whenever we meet with them, I'm sure you already are letting them know that that exists, but if maybe you send a follow-up email with a link to it, that might encourage further participation.
Okay, yeah. Thanks.
Rules?
Like I said earlier in my report, most of what we've been working on will be discussed in a little bit. And but I also would just like to encourage everybody, like if you see that there's something that you might want to have changed in the Constitution or just an idea of
He says that like it's not a lot, but Landry's job, part of his job is to make sure our Constitution is reflective of who we are as an organization. And part of that is making sure it's up to date. So there's some things that, could potentially be a better fit. And I think that who better to indicate that than the people who work with the rules. So just keep an eye out. I've made some suggestions. I know Rules Committee has made suggestions, but it's on the website if you want to look at it. Hopefully you already have. Don't tell me if you haven't. Yes.
Do you want me to give it?
Yes. As Landry's walking it to David, I just wanted to reiterate what Ashlyn said. Committees are a required part of being a senator. So I think we've done a really good job as far as attendance. I haven't known of any chronic absences, but it has been told to our committee chairs to take attendance. And if you're consistently not showing up, that will negatively impact you. Everybody clear on that? Awesome.
Another thing, Saturday, we have Arbor Day. Go plant a tree. It'll be fun. I am unable to attend, but go
Yep.
do it. It's not officially our event, but I feel obligated to plug it because, environment.
The sign up did close yesterday. So come if you signed up. I'll be there. We're having chicken biscuits from Chick-fil-A as breakfast. We'll plant some trees, do some good. We have some fun recycle, like reusable bags that you'll get and a t-shirt. My favorite event other than midnight breakfast. Okay, moving right along to student voice reports. Let's rock and roll. So I should have just left it with you. Okay, have it back. College of Arts and Sciences. We're just going to round table this. So pass it along.
Yeah. I don't really have anything to report right now. Everybody's very stressed out about Eric Lopez. That's about it.
I saw an article about the chairs in the CAS building. Do you guys have thoughts on that?
Yes.
Yes, the spinny chairs, the orange ones.
They're annoying.
They're sticky, apparently. Okay, after you, Chloe.
The only thing I wanted to touch on was some issues with advising. I haven't really heard of anyone else having issues, but I'm currently having an issue with advising. So I can imagine that there's other people that might be having an issue because I just found out who my new advisor was.
Oh. So it's December. Yeah. I'm a College of Arts and Sciences student as well, just so you guys know. I'm in the College of Business and College of Arts and Sciences. And I know for a fact that as of this morning, the next appointment available for Dr. Millette is December 12th. So, oh my gosh, hold on. Let's get through the reports and then we'll do some questions. Other Chloe.
I was just going to say December is now the first time you can get appointment. I did see something about you can do it through email, but then it didn't really make obvious who to email. So
yes, you have to email your advisor directly. So like for me, I do that most every semester. I just email Dr. Millette what I'm planning on taking and he says, yes, looks good.
has Dr. Millette taken all of Vardaman's on?
I have no idea. He was my advisor prior to all the shifts. So
Because I had vitamin and I haven't been told since who your advisor is. So that's why I don't know if other people like don't know who to email.
Yeah.
Because they've not been told.
let's figure that out this week. Nope, hold on. We got to keep the order, people.
Also, I was somewhat confused about advising because I'm graduating in literally a few months, but I got an email from Millette saying, "Hey, you need to sign up for an advising appointment." I'm like, I don't need this.
It's an automated email.
I figured that, but still, just saying.
Yeah, because even though it's my last semester, I'm not required to do advising through that college. Hold on. Ashlyn had her hand up first. Or Jennifer. Sorry.
This is just a general question for all the other CAS students. Do you guys have a really hard time getting a hold of Miss Darian, the career success advisor? Does she work on campus? Because I've been to her office, it's empty. She doesn't email back, can't get a hold of her on Handshake. I can't get confirmation that she actually exists. So if anybody has a solid idea for how to get in contact with her, please let me know.
Hold on. I'm going in order. I'm so proud of you. Go ahead. No. Robert.
Okay, are advisors directly like on your my UT Tyler account with the holds? Because I have a transfer credit that they have not taken off, like a hold on. Do I just contact advisor?
Is it a transient hold?
Yes.
That doesn't go away.
Mm.
You're fine. I worked in the one stop for a little over a year, so most of your questions I can still answer. That one does not go away. It lets you know that it was approved. It's just a formal notification. It doesn't have any impact. Sorry. Okay. Any other questions about that before we move on to College of Business? Okay, great. Just as a reminder, we do have an advising task force. We need to assign people to that. That's on my list for tonight. College of Business.
So I met with the College Business ambassadors earlier today, and they expressed really deep interest of coordinating with some things with us. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I think in the near future, I think they'll be wanting to do some sort of joint stuff with us or work with us on stuff. And they are also looking for more ambassadors. So if you are here in the College of Business and you are interested in one way or another in becoming more active here in the College of Business, I'm not exactly sure where to go for that application, but you can go talk to his Winslow, insert last name here. You can
Winslow
go-
Cunning.
Yeah.
We went to
Yeah.
high school together.
Oh, okay. So you can go talk to him, get real good access with it. They're real great people. A lot of great stuff to do.
He's like a walking freckle.
All right, I know that we also had our student forum today. I wasn't able. I know that we also had our College of Business student forum today. I was not able to attend because I had class, but
I hadn't heard about this. Did
Yeah.
they advertise it?
they sent out emails about it. There were like little flyers on it, but it was essentially what we're here to do, where if you have any concerns with the College of Business and stuff, they sit down and also talk about them.
Yeah, next time let's get our people involved in that.
Yeah, I heard about it last.
No,
second as
you're
well,
good.
So
I'm just saying, whoever put it on, let's reach out to them and see if we can get involved in that next time it's hosted. Adon, it's all you, bud.
Yeah, I got us connected with that student forum at an event I was helping host, I think 2 weeks back. Dr. Chris Swinberge was there, and he's like, I'd love to see SGA representation there. And we tried our best to get out. Unfortunately, I got sick, and then Brandon had class, so Robert was the only person able to attend that for us. However, from what Robert said, it sounded like it was a very successful time. Student facing, more student facing, just exams. People have been getting hit again and again with exams, which is, I don't know, kind of odd that we're this past midterms, but people are still getting hit with exams. Nothing in specific that I'd say, but yeah. I think 2 of my classes now have become online after Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, that's like, it's been recommended by the administration that as possible, classes will move online. but it's not like a requirement. Yes, David? Yes. David's question was how we would know if classes are online. Like I said, it's a professor to professor call, so they'll let you know individually. Okay. Moving on to Patriot Village, Kellen?
All right. I did want to start off by saying that we got our recycling bins, which is great. And they're like being passed out. One of the students even said that his was already filled up. So good job to the ESC and David on that one. And I had a meeting with Christian yesterday because I think I'm going to host a meeting for the residents because I would like to establish a kind of Google form for
Love that.
them to submit concerns to me since I'm not able to obviously talk to every single student as much as I would like to.
Yeah,
And that's all.
that's awesome. Kudos to you, Kellen. Also, we love to hear about the recycling bins. That has been an ongoing effort. So, sort of a trial run right now. We're going to see how it goes. And if it's successful, then we'll get widespread residence hall recycling, which exciting. I don't know about y'all, but I love minimizing waste. We're all about lean production here in SGA.
So I don't know if you can answer this. You're not an RA, but I know that the people downstairs from us submitted a complaint that was like, y'all are walking too loud. Is that valid? Is that like a real thing? Like they, sorry, my face is like, I'm flat.
Anybody can
But
submit a complaint about anything.
are we supposed to like levitate or what are we supposed to do?
But I will say that happened to me last semester and no one was home. So it's like
Just do your
No.
best.
So like, what do we do about that? Because our RA was like, this is just a warning. What are we supposed to do? Walk tiptoe around the apartment or?
Just do your best, Val. Don't wear high heels in your apartment, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Awesome. Why does it keep highlighting rules? Okay. Moving on to old business, I'd like to entertain a motion to open a discussion on the advising task force. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're going to call that motion by David, seconded by Robert. Okay. So, like I said, this task force, we already voted it into existence, but it does not currently have members. My goal is to have one person from each college. So, if you guys will kind of chat amongst your team this week and let me know by Friday at noon who would like to represent your college for that task force, we're going to get that up and rolling. Preferably someone who will be here next semester. Sorry, David. But the majority of this work will happen in the spring. So the Chloes are having an all-out battle over here. I'm just kidding. Anyway, this is your notice. Please talk amongst yourselves in your team. Housing, this doesn't pertain to y'all. So if you'd like a seat at the table, let me know. We'll see what we can do. But primarily just for the academic colleges. And if we can get maybe 2 from student body at large, that would be good as well. Okay, I entertain a motion to close discussion on that. Okay, motion by Landry, seconded by Justin Vargas. Okay, moving right along to new business. I don't see Macy here. Let's see. Macy's a potential new senator. We do have Soren here, so I'd like to entertain a motion to discuss the appointment of a new senator. Okay, motion by Landry, seconded by Robert. So we have Soren Peters here. He is a student in the honors program, right? And what is your major? History major. Awesome. So Soren is interested in becoming a senator. You guys are familiar with this process at this point. He'll get a little bit of time to talk to you guys, introduce himself, all of that good stuff. Y'all will get a brief period to ask questions and then we'll vote. Okay? Everybody good at that? Awesome. Soren, if you'd like to come up, introduce yourself. Give us the lowdown on Soren Peters.
All right. So my name is Soren Peters. I'm a freshman history student here. And I'd like to become a senator so that I can advocate on the interests of all students here. And I've always had an interest in public policy. And I feel that by becoming a senator, I could participate in the public service that SGA provides to the student body at large. And also, I feel that by communicating the problems and concerns of the student body at large, I'd be able to, contribute to the positive change over the next 4 years of my time here and give something back to the school, which is something I've been wanting to do since I got here. It's, be a part of that positive change on campus and give something back to the school. So I feel that becoming a senator would help me achieve that with you all. So that is all, and thank you for this opportunity.
Awesome. Anybody have questions? You can stay up here.
Dang, I'm trying to think here. So what a little bit. Thank you. So what would you be a senator for? Student body at large. Okay.
Oh.
What do you want to do after you graduate? I know you're a freshman, so you have plenty of time, but any ideas at least?
I know I plan to go to law school.
I feel sorry for you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Landry and I are both doing that as well. Anybody else going to law school? Oh, Audrey. Maybe Jacqueline. Awesome. Study group. Okay. Focus back on. Anybody else have questions for Soren? Zoom. Anybody on Zoom have a question?
What do you believe? Hold on, let me rephrase this. What is your strongest skill?
What do you believe?
What is your strongest skill? You
Your
could say
strongest
biceps.
skill.
You could say biceps. It's okay.
Biceps are not a skill.
What do you say, skill?
What is something you feel like you're really good at? Biceps is not an appropriate answer.
Something I'm good at.
This is
I
just
don't
a
really
for
know what that
fun
question
question. You're
means.
okay.
Something I feel like I'm good at. I feel like I'm good at. I think I'm good at studying. Like that's something that I've really tried to work on.
Can you
And-
teach us? All right, guys. Soren's
I'm
going
probably
to teach
not
a
very good at
studying
teaching,
class.
But I've really tried to work on studying
Yeah.
over the past years, and just being able to read and code stuff is something I've worked on.
Are there any problems within the honors program that you could bring to our attention?
So the honors program they're gonna have 65 new students next year instead of 40. We're growing. It's kind of a good problem to have. We're growing really fast, but that's brought up some problems with not having enough mentors for the new students coming in and not having enough people to do interviews. So those are just some problems, but it's a good problem to have, because we have lots of people joining. So yeah, that's all I can think of though. I'm probably not the person. There's other people, that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, everybody wants to ask Soren questions. 2 more brief ones because they raised their hands already.
All right. As a freshman, why'd you pick UT Tyler?
So it's gonna sound kind of dumb, but so my girlfriend was going here. I'm not so I'm not from here at all. I'm from Clinton, Texas. And I didn't know a lot about the school, but I love everything here. You guys meant to be here. Sorry.
I guess I have a question and a half now. Okay. My original question was, what's your main historical focus, whether it be like period or place or specific figures. And this is a very personal question. You don't have to answer. Are you still with the girlfriend?
Yes, I am. I am.
Yeah, you're not required to answer that.
Sorry. So stuff I'll just say like what interests me in history. I love history as a subject, but I really like World War I history. And I also really like the history of religions around the world. So those are two things that I'm really interested in is development of religions around the world and also World War I. So
Yeah, that's awesome. A reminder for our senators, this is intended to be serious questions, not anything personal that's not appropriate. So cut that out. Okay. Thank you. VP Stavinoff, you'll walk Soren out. Sure. All right. So Soren, yes, Soren, you're going to go out while they discuss, and Ashlyn will stand with you. And then once we voted, you'll come back in. You can just leave the mic with Landry right here. Again, going forward, serious questions. I feel very embarrassed. Yes, not the purpose of this. Okay. Raise your hand if you have a comment, thought, question. It's okay. Anyone else have questions, thoughts? He seems very nice. He came to the town hall as an opportunity to sort of see what SGA is about. So I appreciated that. Landry? Landry's comment is just, I like him for Zoom attendees.
Most of y'all wouldn't know them, but several of them have been in the honors program. We've had really a great experience with our senators from the honors program. So yeah.
Idalia?
Yes, I just would like to say that, I mean, as a comment that, I mean, I will say yes to him just because he's still a freshman. So he's kind of developing himself into the, organization and as an SGA, and he can get to have a bigger, a broad picture of what can be done during 4 years.
That's a really good point. Thanks. Anybody else have thoughts before we vote? Okay, then I'd like to entertain a motion to vote to approve Soren Peters as a senator for the call or for the student body at large. Okay, motion by Landry, seconded by Robert aggressively. All in favor, please do a thumbs up emoji or raise your hand. Okay, y'all can put your hands down. All opposed, do a different emoji or raise your hand. And any abstentions. Kellen, will you wave at Ashlyn? And in SGA fashion, we're going to clap for him. Welcome. Welcome back. If you can't tell by the clapping, we voted to approve you. So now you get to come back up here and we'll swear you in. Whee. Okay, so I'm going to be reading this oath here. I'll say it, you'll repeat it chunk by chunk. When it says insert name, of course, you'll put your name. And where it says insert position, you'll say senator for the student body at large. Got it? All right. So I'll give you this microphone. You can hold it in your left hand and you'll raise your right hand. All right. I insert name.
I, Soren,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I shall faithfully represent
that I shall faithfully represent
the interests of the student body
the interests of the student body
of the University of Texas at Tyler.
of the University of Texas at Tyler.
I shall dutifully uphold and preserve
I shall dutifully uphold and preserve
the Constitution and bylaws
the Constitution and bylaws
of the Student Government Association
of the Student Government Association
while ardently executing
while ardently executing
the office of insert position
the office of Senator for the student body at large.
for the student body
For the student body
at the University of Texas at Tyler.
at the University of Texas at Tyler.
Awesome. I'd like to be the first to welcome you to the Senate, Senator Peters. All right, guys, I would like to entertain a motion to close discussion on this topic. Okay, motion by VP Stabenow, seconded by Robert. Moving right along, Chief of Staff Smith has a brief presentation of just some ideas. Like I said, we're constantly trying to make sure that our documents are up to date and reflective of who we are. So the Rules Committee has been working hard to consider different ideas, and he has a brief proposal. So I'd like to entertain a motion to discuss some Constitution ideas. Who carried that? Okay. Motion by Jacqueline, seconded by Justin Vargas. All you, bud. Which one do you want up? The final draft or the change?
Change. So is it on? Yeah. Okay. Y'all remember we voted on to make the Environmental Sustainability Committee a standing committee. And then we wrote in the language for it. We voted on that. And I sent it up to Ona Tolliver, Vice President Tolliver. And she sent back a suggestion saying that we needed to make the third point on the Environmental Sustainability Committee include the satellite campuses. So the red part that you see there is the change that we made. At first, it just said the City of Tyler Recycling. And this that we put in here helps future-proof it in case the UT Tyler system decides to add more satellite campuses instead of just putting Longview, Palestine, Houston, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, if you want to hover over the Word document tab, the original version, I believe, is up.
Yeah, so this is what it originally said right here. And so going back to this version, that was a change we made. And so if y'all are willing to vote yes on this, it will be sent back to Ona, and she will be able to finally approve it, and then it will be able to be put on the SGA website.
Will you see what the chat is, please?
Yes. Oh, sorry, Adon. New
Just-
share. Can you see it now, Adon? You're welcome.
Okay.
So yeah, this is what I propose to change it to. Before we vote on that, I would also just like to talk about just a few ideas that is kind of we've been discussing in committee. I've discussed with Casey. One of the primary things that I would like to do is to start getting the judicial board a little bit more active, because as far as I know, the judicial board does not meet at all. And I do believe that they do need to meet, but I don't think they need to meet as frequently as like committees meet, for example. We meet once every week. I think they should at least meet maybe once a month. And then I would also like to include, since they review any kind of cases or controversies, I would also like to establish in writing some sort of requirement of them to write down their decisions and their opinions, maybe like a share file or even just a written journal. That way, future judicial boards will have some sort of precedent for maybe similar cases that will arise years on from whenever we had the same problems. I think that's a very prudent change to make. I think it's an easy change to make as well. There's other ideas. I don't really wish to, in my opinion, I don't really wish to include all the ideas in one huge vote, just because I feel like if you were to do that, some of it would get knocked out and then it would kill the whole vote on entire issues within the Constitution. But with that being said, I would like to motion to open up the said changes to the Constitution for a vote of approval.
You're referring to specifically this change?
Yes, not the judicial board change. I am just referring simply to point 3 in the Environmental Sustainability Committee. I will present changes regarding the judicial board and maybe additional ones next week or the
You
week
can
after
also
that.
attend Rules Committee at
Yes,
5:15 on
I-
Mondays.
Yes, we meet the second floor of the UC right next to the honors office.
Or by Zoom.
Or by Zoom, yeah. Third floor, my bad. Yes, you're right.
Ashlyn seconded it. So all in favor, please raise your hand or do a thumbs up emoji. Okay, you can put your hands down. All opposed, raise your hand or do a different emoji. And any abstentions. All right, fantastic. That passes. So Chief of Staff Smith will send this on to Senior Vice President Tolliver, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Wow, you get applause. Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to close discussion on this topic. Fantastic. It was motioned by VP Savanon, seconded by basically everyone in the room. Okay. Yeah, the loudest one was Brandon. Okay, moving right along. Does anyone have anything to add to new business? Senator Scott.
All right. What I wanted to bring up was about the email that came out by housing about or at least the possibility of charging for the break periods.
Okay. You have to motion to open a discussion.
Motion to open discussion on the email sent out by housing.
Who seconded that? Okay, motion by Senator Scott, seconded by Senator Bennett.
So before
The microphone is off.
now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, so I'm too far back. That's a bummer. Learn something new. All right. So before y'all jump into that conversation, there may be another email that's going to be sent out within the hour or first thing in the morning with some additional information or with a different decision and who to contact. But if there are any concerns, y'all are welcome to contact Dean Petit. He is more than happy to answer any questions or concerns that y'all have in general. And specifically with the email that was sent out today, but he is working with the housing department on a few corrections.
He also stopped by the office earlier today to let us know that information, as well as let us know that next week, I had already requested a representative of housing come discuss other topics with us. So it worked out perfectly. So they will already be here. Dean Petit will be here. For those of you that haven't met, I think everybody in here has met him, but he's the Dean of Students. So he requested that we give him some time to work on it prior to any I mean, we're welcome to discuss it, but he is working on talking to them about it as well. Where's the other microphone? Okay.
Given the information regarding the new email that's coming out and the fact that Dean Petit and housing will be here next semester, I'd like to motion to table this discussion until we have further information.
Just to clarify, they're coming next week, not next semester.
Next week. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Will you re-motion, please?
I'd like to motion, given the information, I'd like to motion that we table this discussion until next week, until we have further information.
Seconded by Senator Vargas. Okay. I would like to entertain a motion to discuss a diversity course on campus. Entertain, yeah. Okay. All right. So, as you guys know, Ashlyn and I are the UT SAC representatives for UT Tyler. One thing that the committee worked on last year was I don't know about creation, but the access for UT system schools to a diversity education course. Think similar to the alcohol EDU you do as a freshman, the Title IX training, very similar vein of training. It already exists, but we have not, it's offered on our campus, but not required in any capacity. I was wondering what you guys thought about potentially looking at the course and then determining whether we feel like it might be beneficial to have required for freshmen or for all grades, whatever you guys feel is appropriate. But I definitely personally would prefer to review it prior to making that decision. I just wanted to kind of get y'all's opinion. Like I said, it's very similar vein of training to the alcohol EDU and Title IX that are required for freshmen. So, any thoughts? Raise your hand.
So we had to do that for sorority Greek life anyways. I don't see any harm in adding it. I mean, it's just.
Josh, do you know if it's the same training?
Yeah. Either way, I know that taking that course, I've learned things about like microaggressions and just things like that that I didn't know before. So I mean, I don't see any harm.
It literally can't be harmful. I would love to review the material before we say, yes, we should require this or expect it of the entire student body. We don't just throw educational materials at students without at least looking at them first. But I seriously don't see any harm in at least looking at it or seeing if we can find an even better one.
Yep. Each school in the UT system does it differently. Some of them have implemented it where every single student does it every year. Some of them have implemented it for freshmen only. Okay. There's a variety of techniques. Go ahead.
I very much agree with Jennifer on that. Literally, it probably couldn't do any harm unless it was just not effective, because I know I have taken a course similar to like the diversity stuff that was just fell flat on its face, that it wasn't effective at all. So I think we need to review it, make sure it actually knows what it's talking about and that it's actually going to achieve its desired goal, rather than just, be emotion like, oh, diversity, and
Sure.
they're not actually doing it.
Sure.
Would it be possible to bring in somebody and like have them give us a presentation on what this course would look like and what exactly will be in it?
Like I said, the course already exists, so we could just ask them to present us with access to the course so that we can review it on our own time. Since it's only just offered and not kind of put out there, I don't know about y'all, but I hadn't heard about this. So it is available to us currently as students. So one of the options is also just we have them advertise it, So that's something to consider as well. I have 2 microphones now.
So I'm trying to remember this past spring, something got sent out, some sort of training, and I think it was primarily related to Title IX and sexual assault. Would it be anywhere similar to that, I guess? I mean, I guess that might be a dumb question. I think I know the answer to that.
Different content, slightly. Okay, this is just sort of for my information. At UTSAC, we're kind of following up on the vote that the group last year made to kind of implement that. So kind of getting a status update. And like I said, currently we offer it but don't require it. So I kind of want to have our Senate take a look at it, see what we think. So
Can you send out the information on how we could access that now if we decided to go and access it on our own?
yeah, I'll have to get it, but yes. Goodness. Active tonight.
Is this the same diversity and inclusion training that like people who for certain positions that work here have to do? 'Cause I think I had to do that one for head coach. I'm wondering if
not
it's the same
sure.
course. Okay.
Yeah, pretty similar. Like I said, it's very, very similar vein. So I'd like to entertain a motion to vote to, well, I guess we can just motion to request that they bring it, right, Josh? Can I just entertain a motion to have someone give us access to this so we can review it? Okay. I'd like to entertain a motion. Yeah, I'd like to entertain a motion to table this discussion until we've had a chance to review the course. I'm gonna need one at a time. Y'all gotta coordinate this. Who motioned it? Okay, Alicia motioned, Brandon seconded. All right, great. Thank y'all for that. Anybody else have anything to add to new business? Okay, fantastic. Moving right along to advisor comments. Josh, if you want to meander up here. I've been walking around all night. You'd be okay.
Can everybody hear me? Yes. All right. So, very good meeting, very productive. It's been a while since I've had a lengthy meeting at 7 o'clock. So kudos to y'all for addressing several topics and making progress. There was two things that came to mind on the advising issue. I do want to recommend that if you're not able to get a hold of your advisor, or if you're having some challenges in the advising area, please email advising@uttyler.edu. That email goes to the centralized advising office, and they will do their best to try to assist you, especially if it is a request that they can quickly do. The other issue that was mentioned in the same topic about the career success coach, they are very busy right now. All of them are, as we get ready for our career success conference, which is on Thursday.
Yep.
I hope that all of you take advantage of that event and attend as many sessions as you're able to. But that is why the coaches are not right now available, because they are running around making sure that everything is ready to go for our guest speakers and for all of the sessions that are going to be taking place on Thursday. However, if the coach does not follow up by next week, feel free to always swing by the Career Success office, which is on the second floor of the University Center. Any of the career success staff would be more than happy to address it. And that's when there are some other things, I believe, but if a coach is not available, the main office can still assist. And so the coaches are embedded into the colleges to make it more accessible for you, because you're in the building, and that's where you have classes. And so that's why the coaches have offices here in each building. So that way you can quickly go to them, but sometimes they're not always available. But the main office is, which is on the second floor. And Leah and Dr. Rosemary Cooper are fantastic to work with. So they will definitely get that resolved or help where needed. Can you scroll back up real quick on the agenda? Nope. And other than that, that's all the comments. I do want to share, and I told Casey and I think Jennifer and a few of the other e-board, I am extremely proud of y'all. Last week blew my mind when I showed up for midnight breakfast early, as I do every year. I get out of bed because I'm usually laying down already because I'm old. But I was shocked to walk in and to see that many volunteers ready to rock and roll. It's the largest midnight breakfast we've ever hosted or y'all have ever hosted. So kudos to y'all. It continues to be one of the largest student events here at UT Tyler, and it is student ran. And so I'm very proud that y'all are helping bring back engagement here, especially after last year of what everybody went through. And so it was a lot of fun. I think everybody I spoke with had a blast. The student groups had a good time. The food was good. And I look forward to next semester's midnight breakfast to see if y'all can beat that record again. Yep. But it's not just midnight breakfast, but I saw many of you throughout the week with Patriot Days. And so thank y'all so much for showing up and being present at a lot of events, including the Trunk or Treat. Trunk or Treat was also the largest Trunk or Treat we've ever hosted. We had over 800 individuals that participated, that drove through. That does not count all the volunteers and all the cars that helped make it possible. So it was a large event. We've got some things that we've got to fix for next year if we're going to keep making it bigger, because there was a lot of traffic off of Old Olman. We can't let that happen. So we're going to make some adjustments, but that was awesome. And so hopefully y'all had fun, and hopefully we can make it even more bigger and better next year.
Awesome. Okay, just a couple of announcements. Like Josh said, the Career Success Conference is Thursday. Definitely try to attend. Arbor Day, if you signed up, is anybody going to that? Chloe? Awesome. Awesome. Holly? All right. Well, I will see y'all there. Like I said, I have a soft spot for that event. When I was environmental sustainability chair back in the day, I started participating in the planning committee, and now I just am on it because I love it. So, yep. It used to be called something different. It used to be the recycling committee. I changed the name. That was me. Anyway. Okay. There's something else. Okay. The last announcement I had was, as you guys know, Jennifer is graduating in December. Keep your tears. We have a month to emotionally prepare ourselves. But what that means for y'all is there will be an executive board position open. And in order to make that happen prior to the last meeting, the way it's going to work is nominations will happen November 16th. Then it's Thanksgiving week. Then our last meeting is going to be on November 30th because we don't meet on finals week. So that will be when we have the vote. So just be considering, it may or may not be vice president that's open. It depends, because the way it works is our executive board kind of gets the chance to move up. So I don't know for sure what position will be open at this point, but I just wanted to put that on y'all's radar. Just start considering whether that might be the journey that's right for you. Okay. But there will be one spot open. Anybody on Zoom is also, this conversation is for you as well. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, you have a couple weeks to think about it. November 16th, we'll take nominations for the open position, and then we'll vote on it on November 30th. Let me check the chat. Yep, Luis, of course. Okay, so I just wanted that to be on y'all's mind so you have some time to think about it. Our chief of staff, treasurer, and secretary positions are 8 hours a week, and vice president and president are 15 hours a week. Like I said, at this point, I'm not sure what position will be open, but that kind of gives you an idea of what the time commitment is. You'd also be responsible for one or more of the committees. So just keep that on your radar. Any questions about that? Yeah. Y'all have our numbers. You're welcome to text us. You also have the Constitution, which has the job description in it. So definitely take a look at that if you're considering any of them. Yeah. Any other questions? I do. What is it? Oh, thanks for reminding me. Senator of the Week. Senator of the Week. All right, so here's my little slide. I never end up using it because I just uncover the block, but worked really hard on this. It's really cute. Okay, let's get a drum roll for Senator of the Week. All right, ta-da! Yay! Alicia. So, let me show the screen. Hold on. Our Zoom attendees are like, who is it? All right, Alicia, yay. Okay, so for showing up early and always being ready to lend a helping hand, Alicia kept my hair from catching on fire during midnight breakfast. So I appreciate you. The executive board appreciates you. Sheer brain power. Okay. All right. Anyway, this is your weekly reminder to submit your peers for Senator of the Week. This is not supposed to be the executive board picking. Please submit your peers. Yes. The entire Senate. All right. Thank you all for being here.